Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be sharing part 1 of a 3-part series that is just about organizing my life, organizing work things, organizing kids stuff that goes on, organizing bills, organizing everything, meal planning, all the things that I do to organize. I've found a system that I really like that really works for me, but it's not just one app. And so the first thing I want to say is I think one thing that I really struggled with when I first started was I was trying to make one thing work for everything. So when I was using the Notes app, I wanted that to work for everything. And then I started using GoodNotes, and I was trying to make GoodNotes work for everything. And then I started using Notion, and then I just realized that certain apps are good for certain things. And so what I'm going to be sharing is these 3 apps, and obviously you can take what works for you, leave what doesn't. But the one tip I guess I have is to don't try to make one thing work for everything, right? Like don't try to make GoodNotes your everything. I really tried hard to use GoodNotes for meal planning and recipes, and it was super cute and super fun to use it, and it just didn't work. I just kept trying, and I found it didn't work. And then I found a Notion template for recipes, and it's been perfect for me. I can have it on my iPad. I can have it on my phone. It is so easy to create recipes. And then I was kind of like, well, gosh, now I've got GoodNotes and I've got Notion, and that's okay. So that's kind of my big tip is, try to figure out what works for you, but don't try to make one app work for everything. Same thing with the Notes app. I tried for so long to make the Notes app work for everything, like make it be my planner and make it be, a place for passwords, and then take book notes in there. And there were just some things that it couldn't do, and it wasn't working for me. And so that is my big tip. So what I'm going to be sharing in this series, this 3-part series, is Notion, GoodNotes, and the Notes app, and how I use it all to organize everything. Okay, so for part 1, I am going to be sharing how I use the Notes app. This is the app that just comes with iPhones and iPads. And so I have it set up, I guess, through iCloud. And so it gets synced through all my devices. So I always have it on my iPad, I have it on my computer, and I have it on my phone. So the main things I use the Notes app for is I use it for commonplace is probably the biggest thing. So that means any kind of notes, like quick little notes, quick thoughts, quotes I see that I like, books I'm reading, podcast notes, sermon notes, stuff like that. I just find it very easy to take notes that way. If I'm like cooking dinner and I'm listening to a podcast, I can very easily pause and just type it into my notes. And if I'm on a walk, and, I'm pushing the stroller, but I'm listening to something and I want to take notes, I find it very easy to do that in the Notes app. There's even times if I have like a quick thought that I want to jot down, I can just do the talk to text type of thing. And it's just very easy in the Notes app. So I did try commonplace in GoodNotes as well as Notion, and I just did not like it as well. So I really like that for the Notes app. I also have some work stuff. I have family stuff. I just keep track of just like, simple things that I need to remember, and that's just very easy to get to. So I'll take a look at this. So this is my commonplace. And what I've done is I've started using hashtags, which I have really loved. It's made it a lot easier. So basically I have commonplace. So this is all my everything commonplace is in here. So I have it all in here, and then I put a hashtag, and then it'll sort it into the category I want. So these pictures are something that's part of my studio. But basically what I do is if you put a picture, you can put the picture anywhere, but especially if you put it right here in the front, I like it because I can come here, I can see what the topic is, and then it'll also put the picture over here. I found that just like a 4x4 picture works good. That way I can just kind of scroll through and I can see my stuff very quickly, very easily. So I have commonplace, and then I have all these hashtags. And so the hashtags I have are truth from God, Christian living, Bible, marriage, relationships, home, prayer, parenting, thoughts, quotes, poetry, reading, sin/the enemy, hard seasons, theology, seasonal. This one is creation, nature, and beauty. And that's it. So that's how that looks. And basically what I do is, like, if you're going to make a new folder, you could obviously make a folder called commonplace, right? But then if I was going to make one of these, I could call it Christian living. Okay, sorry guys, my microphone is like in the way of the... Okay, we're just going to call it living because I can't really get to my microphone or get to my keyboard. Okay, so living. And what you would do is you'd click this and make into a smart folder, and then you would put the hashtag. So if you want living, you could put that hashtag, you could push OK, and what it would do is it would then create a category. And then anytime you have it, you could put a note into that, it'll go in there basically. And I'll show you how I do it, but that's what I have. So truth from God, that's basically anything from the Bible. Christian living, this will be different stuff. And I usually put like what it is, what the title is. And then if it's an audiobook, if it's a podcast, if it's just my thoughts, whatever it is, and then I do the hashtag, and then I've got the picture, and then I've got whatever it is. So here, like this one is in my marriage category. It's called Be a Helper. This was the podcast, Bright Hearth Podcast. I did marriage. Sometimes I'll even put a picture of the, what it is, what the podcast is or the book. And then I just take notes. And so here's another one. But it's just very easy to kind of go through and find everything I'm looking for. So here's some parenting stuff. I'll put articles, put stuff from books, just quotes. If I see a quote on Instagram that I really like, I will put it there. And then again, reading, I have books, hard seasons, theology, and some of these don't even have things. So for theology, I don't have anything, but I just put like a placeholder almost so that when I do have one, it's very easy because these are the pictures I have. And I'll show you how to drag and drop it, but it's also, once you have it set up, you can also just copy this and it makes it really easy. So we're going to go into my notes that I don't have. So let's just do this. So this one was an audiobook I was listening to, Building Godly Character in Children. So I am going to probably do, I'm probably going to do parenting just because I think I'd look for it more in parenting than reading, but you could also do both too. Let's see, where is my parenting? Oh, there it is. Okay, so then all I take is I just take it and I drag it right there. And so now it's there. And then I'm going to do hashtag and I just start typing parenting. Okay, and then I'm going to drag it into commonplace. So now I go into commonplace, it's right here. And then also if I were to go into parenting, it's also right there in parenting. So I could also even do reading. So you can do multiple hashtags. So I could also do reading, which is what I titled my book one. So now if I also go to reading, I also have it in books. So that is the way I do that. So this one is another book I started. So I'm going to put it in my commonplace. Once you have it set up, it's very easy also to just copy and paste this. So rather than like having to always have these, because I have this parenting here, you can just click on it and click copy. And now I can go here and I can click and do paste. And so now I easily have it. And then I can obviously do my hashtag of parenting. And so now it will be categorized in parenting. So that is how I do it. Again, you could just make these separate categories, which I used to do. So I used to just have all of these be regular categories. But what I found is then there was no way to look at all of them at once. So I like to be able to click on commonplace and look at all of my notes, like all together in one thing, and be able to kind of look through them. Especially because it's chronological. So when you last wrote on it, you can see it'll be, listed chronologically. So this way I can see all of them, but then I can also have them categorized the way I want them. So I've loved doing that. The other thing I do is I have business stuff too. So just different, website colors. These are crayon colors. These are the colors I use for my crayons. I get that question a lot. And so I just put like stuff that I need to remember. So people were constantly asking me what crayon colors I used in my Bible. And so it's just easier to write it all down and have it right here so that if someone else asks me, I can just copy and paste this right into a message to that person. And then these are also hashtags. So for work, I also hashtagged them as work, as Instagram, podcast, and then my studio is its own separate category. My family is also its own category, and so I just made, again, like little things for them that either says their name or it'll say all three of their names, which might mean that it's something for all of them, or there's one that says family. So I have the kids' measurements, like what shoe size they are, what shirt size. So if ever, like there are times where my mom will ask me because she'll be out and she'll see something cute, I can just text her this. If I'm out and maybe I don't remember, I can just have it very easily. And then I also hashtag it so then I can go into her, all the kids' categories and see that. That's the main thing I use it for. I have, homeschool. I've kept some like just ideas when I text different people. My friend, she's given me links to stuff, so I'll just put it there. Some house stuff, like here's a window guy that does windows. I do my makeup, the makeup that I haven't even updated this, but I used to put my makeup in there just so I could keep track of it, because sometimes you go to the store to buy new makeup and then I can never remember what color I am. But anyways, that's how I use the notes. Very basic. Again, the main thing is really commonplace, and then I do use like family stuff, but those are the two main things I do with the Notes app.